Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Ultimate Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
What was that?
I told you, we have an intro now.
But it was still like, I don't know what was happening. Like, there was like 20 seconds where I'm just sitting there like...
I told you, intro.
I know, but I still need to know these things.
All right, fine. Intro.
Did you just say intro for 20 seconds?
Intro for 18 seconds.
That's a very impressive intro.
Indeed.
Axelton, what did you think of the new intro? I need to know.
Yes. And while you think about it, Zealeus, it is a
Yes.
Thursday.
It is Thursday, so my day is already better.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the perfect Connor himself, Zealeus.
What's up? How you doing today, Mr. Charlie?
Play it again.
Do it.
Okay, hold on. All right, so there's been a request in the audience. I shall do it again. Hold on, I got to switch. I got to basically pop off and back on. Nope, that's not it. And there you go.
Well, I'm excited now to rev up my engines.
You should, because you should listen to the music. It's awesome.
I can hear it in my soul.
Fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm Charlie. That's Zealeus. This is our Thursday night hangout. We do it every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
7 o'clock Central Time.
I know for a fact that there are a ton of individuals out there.
A ton.
Who ask me on a weekly basis now. If there's one question, does Zealeus have a soul?
My cat ate it.
Your cat owns it.
Touche.
All right, anyways, the one question that is most popular, which isn't actually a topic, but still a question, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have questions, please hit us up through any of these social media things, or of course you can just drop it in the chat and we will bring it up. The most constant question is, isn't there any way that we could do the Thursday night hangout later? And to that I say, Zealeus's master says nay.
It really is my fault because I have an issue.
Yes.
Here's my issue.
Yes.
Is if I'm not doing something like this, when I get home, like I can't go to bed for like 2 hours. It's just a thing. Like I can't.
It's like me playing basketball. I can't go to bed immediately after basketball.
So like when I get home around 10 o'clock, I'm not going to bed around till 11:30 or 12, which is already pushing my bedtime. If we push the podcast say into the 10, that'd be way too loud. So that's my thing is, yes, I'm a wuss. I need my sleep. I'm sorry. So yes, the reason we can't start later, much people's chagrin, it's me. Yes.
All right, so since we've already started the show, let's get right into it, shall
let's
we?
talk about stuff.
All right, let's go with, what the hell, let's knock this one off the plate. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of funny, and I just want to bring it up. I hate sports video games. It's way too realistic, and there's just no enjoyment whatsoever to be found. I mean, I like my Tecmo Bowl or my
Blitz.
That's
like my favorite. I still love Blitz. It's a football game. It was like, I don't remember how many were on each team, like 3 or 4.
I think it was 4.
4, and you just
You
go
can basically
and kill
like
each
ground
other.
pound them with your ass.
Yeah, like, that's what I want to play. I love it.
NBA Jam, sure.
Oh, yeah.
NBA Street, hell yeah. It's a 3-on-3 kind of like street ball where you can do some crazy ass like dunks that you literally, it's basically like the next generation of NBA Jam.
Newton League, everything.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
There's a ton of stuff there.
Yeah,
if you want to go with a game that was sort of like football, but not really, and I am like pulling this from like the dark, because not a lot of people know what this game is, but Crush Deluxe.
Yep, you introduced me to
God,
that.
that was a good game.
I think I still have my CDs somewhere.
I do too. I don't remember where I put it. I think it's at my mom's house somewhere. Anyways,
my parents, every time I see them, they give me more of my old crap. I think they finally got rid of the rest of it.
Oh, well, there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the funny thing about NBA 2K18, the first thing is I can't believe they're still making it. And the second thing is that their poster child player that was selected is a gentleman by the name of Kyrie Irving. Now, the funny thing, or the interesting thing, is the fact that Kyrie Irving, when it was decided that he would be the poster person, played for the Cleveland National Basketball Team, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Indeed.
However, in the past week, he has since been traded. So now his uniform makes no sense because he's no longer a Cav. He's now a Boston Celtic. So EA is scrambling right now to try to figure out. Actually, no, that's not EA. 2K is 2K. That's not EA.
That's what's called 2K.
Duh. Okay. Anyways, so
2K
is scrambling, and basically what they're doing is, if you've already bought the game, you have, from my understanding, you have a chance to get a new sleeve you could put on your game box. But if you haven't gotten it yet, they are replacing all the current games with the boxes with the correct uniform.
See, to me, this is one of the things where, like, as a video game player, having the Kyrie Irving with the Cavs uniform, it's more of like a botch now.
Yeah.
Where, like, at some point, it's like, whoa, you have that rare run where Kyrie Irving had the Cavs uniform? It's probably not going to be worth any money because it's freaking Kyrie Irving. But it's still just kind of...
He's one of the better players in the league. He was just sick and tired of getting in trouble every single time LeBron fell flat. All right, we're not talking sports here.
Okay.
I mean, we're
I don't think we're going to agree on this one.
Anyways.
But it's still... As a gamer, if I had the original Cavs one, I would still want to keep it either way. Just because it's a unique thing to look back on. Be like, oh, it was kind of like a mistake that was on there. So to me, it's kind of funny. I mean, if I'm a Cavs fan, actually, if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm happy because it's a great trade for the Cavs. But anyways, we're digressing more.
So let's move into the next topic. Let's go with something.
I wonder
Yes,
if they will. I just wonder if they will do like a patch to the roster to fix this before like it becomes live.
Oh no, they do roster updates like all the time.
They actually do?
It's background.
Okay.
As long as you have an internet connection. However, I wouldn't be surprised if you have to have an internet connection with this bogus bullshit that we see today that says that everything has to be online.
This is very true.
I'm pretty sure that they've already updated that. It's just the outside cover.
To play against the computer, you must have internet
Yeah.
access because the computer lives on the cloud.
Yeah.
The cloud computing power. Oh yes.
Damn, I had something else I was going to say.
About basketball?
I think sports in general, but I can't remember anyways.
Sports in general and their lack of roster updates.
No, well, I don't want to talk about roster updates. That's.
I mean, just generally speaking, because how easy it could be to do the DLCs. But I think we've been on that rant a couple of times now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We're very consistent in our rants, at least.
Yes, consistency is the number one thing when it comes to our rants of this BS we see in front of us.
Yes.
All right, so let's jump into something that is near and dear to Zealeus' heart and my heart, and is actually just earth-shattering, and I'm still crying on the inside, and that is the rumored reboot of Xena is no longer in the works.
Xena Warrior Princess and Gabrielle's no more.
I have to say, I was always a Gabrielle fan. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lucy Lawless, amazing, but I had a special place for Gabrielle in my heart.
She was like a Frodo who could fight.
Yeah.
It's really what I because like Xena, she's the badass warrior princess, but she also had her demons.
Right.
Big time. And she went down the path of evil more than once on the show. And every time, who was there to pull her from the precipice of like going like total crazy, because Xena could have like taken over the world like she already did once.
Yeah.
And Gabrielle was the one who basically made sure that she didn't, give in to her inner demons and all that stuff. Kind of like Frodo did. He's the one who made sure.
Sam.
Sorry. Made sure that Frodo just didn't give in and cave in like any other mere mortal would have. And it would have been a pretty cool project. It also had Raimi and some of the original guys and Robert Tapper associated with the project. So you still would have had potentially some of that same campiness and fun that was with the show.
But the question is, would if it were to have gotten off the ground, would Bruce Campbell have come back and reprised his role?
Ooh, that's a great question. I've not heard anything about Bruce Campbell as the King of Thieves.
I think he's locked away into
where is he in now? I don't even know.
Ash versus the.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, it was a fun show. But the thing they wanted to do in the reboot was explore much more the relationship between Xena and Gabrielle. It's because there's always kind of been that undertone on the show is what is really the relationship. And of course, if you're any bit into Xena fandom, you can kind of guess what the fandom theory is.
They swing both ways.
Very happily. But that's really what they were hopefully going to touch on in the show. But the crazy thing is this reboot was announced like in 2015, and they already started to pull in people 2 years ago into like now that it's being canceled. So it's like it's quite a large time gap where it's between the initial inception and now being like, yeah, never mind.
No, okay, there was a speaking of like something that basically was really exciting, looked cool, and then kind of just disappeared. There is a movie. I apologize to probably all the people that I work with, but I went down the YouTube rabbit hole one day and stumbled upon the movie trailer for a movie called Prototype, and it's basically about like androids.
Okay.
It's about this one android, and this guy basically, from my understanding, he basically puts his consciousness into the android to save his life, and or save his some significant other. Anyways, so that trailer was cut in 2013. It's still sitting on a shelf because apparently there's a shit ton of like issues with and legal tape to actually get through to actually release it. Well, but it looked cool.
Well, this one, Lucy Lawless said she'd be happy to come back to the show.
Yeah.
I doubt she would have brought her back as like the Xena. So I'm kind of curious, who would they even look at actually casting as the new Xena would have been interesting.
Or
Lucy
could
definitely had that
could
panache.
Xena have been simply a title that she could have passed on to another generation, and she would have been basically like, I don't know, the warrior priestess that would have trained a new Xena.
That's a very good. That makes a lot of sense. I could see that happening.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I like the way you think.
All right. Let's do a little. Let's do a shout out here. Ladies and gentlemen, there's an amazing convention that happens. Well, actually, it took a hiatus this past year, but it's coming back, and that, of course, is AndoCon. Yes. AndoCon is an amazing convention that you, my friend, can go to in March. Of 2018 in Atlanta, Georgia. AndoCon is basically it's a friendly gaming convention. It's small, but it's a lot of fun, and you become friends with everyone. The one thing is, if you're looking for video games, this is not going to be a convention.
No video
However, if you're a tabletopper or pencil and paper or board games or card games, this is for you.
Basically, gaming unplugged.
Indeed. Now, that being said, there are going to be some panels there, and
Wax Kid!
Hello, Wax Kid.
I haven't seen you forever.
He's been all over the place.
What happened to his internet? Did he miss us? Did he forget about us?
He was too busy trying to stream during the eclipse. Anyways.
Hopefully he didn't go blind.
The creator behind AndoCon, Ando, has requested that Alter Confusion give at least one panel, maybe two. We'll see what panels we come up with, but we will be presenting something at AndoCon.
I'm definitely looking forward to going there and finding the unique and new games to play and try out. And
I'll be very interested to see what indie creators show up and what games they have. I'm sure that Dave Lupo will have something new to mess around with.
I'm sure Craig Campbell will be there with his pen pencils and some fashion.
What's it? Die Laughing. I'm sure that Die Laughing will make an appearance.
It would be a good timing for Die Laughing.
Or he might try to launch the Capers Kickstarter then.
Yeah, because he hasn't done Kickstarter for it. He already even announced it yet officially. So
I think he's gonna launch the Kickstarter near AndoCon. I have a funny feeling that's what he's gonna do.
That could be cool. He could do both. Who knows?
True, very true. All right. So, anyways, check out AndoCon. You just go to andocon.org, I believe. It'll send you to the page, give you all the information. It's a cheap ticket, and I don't mean like you're not gonna get your money's worth. I mean it's a very reasonably priced ticket that ain't going to cost you an arm and a leg.
And if you do go there, they have like entire walls of board games. So you have everything from the popular Ticket to Ride in Carcassonne to games you probably never heard of. And part of your entry fee is getting to check out all the games and play at your leisure as part of the fun.
And there's also a couple local gaming stores that will also be set up there that will provide some sample games for you to play, and they'll also be selling some of the games that you'll find in the gaming room. In case you're just like, man, I have to play this game.
It really is amazing because most of these games are based that people like us play there. They're donated by fellow gamers in the Atlanta area.
Or they bring them in, yeah.
But it's kind of amazing. Like you see, I remember last time we were there. You see a guy come there with this truck full of games.
Yep.
I'm like, good Lord, how many board games does some of these guys own? It's rather amazing.
You should see how many board games I have and how many board games are still in the wrapper.
Nice. Well, maybe we should bring them all to AndoCon.
Be like, I don't know how to play this game. Here, play it.
Good luck.
Anyway, so seriously, AndoCon, awesome. Check it out.
Very nice.
All right, let's see here. I'm trying to avoid that one for now.
Yes, it hurts my brain thinking about it.
Let's go with, we'll do a shout out. Why not? We'll do another shout out. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a phenomenal author by the name of Dan Jolley. He is the mastermind behind the Grey Widow trilogy.
Is he jolly? Is he a jolly guy?
He's a pretty happy guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a trilogy. The first 2 books are out. The third one is coming out next year. I want to say May of next year, but he won't give me a finite date. That bastard. But it's basically
not even a sneak peek.
He might give me like the first chapter just to screw me over because he did that after Canuga. He gave me the first chapter.
What he should do is give you like the 3rd chapter, not tell you.
Oh, that would be mean. But anyways, it's a real fun series. It revolves around basically a masked vigilante that goes by the name Grey Widow, and her trying to protect the city of Atlanta.
There you go. Our city does need protection.
Anyways, great book. Definitely check it out. You can go to Amazon, or you can go to, I believe it's danjolly.com, I think is his website, or something around that line. Just Google it.
Google, to the Google.
I'm sure that Axthumb will, of course, give you the link that basically does that damn, Google
Can I do
thing.
that for you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. He gets me so often with that. But anyways, Dan Jolley, awesome guy, really good books. And of course, he's also done a bunch of other books, but I focus on the Grey Widows trilogy.
That's
simply
his
because,
current books, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So check it out. All right. Let us
do it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here's an interesting little twist into the path of WB and DC. They decided to join forces and create an alternate universe.
Hooray!
For DC characters. So basically what that means is they're going to allow themselves to have more flexibility about like backstories and origin stories for characters like the Joker or Scarecrow. You're not going to see brand new villains or heroes. However, some of their mythos might change or be tweaked because this would basically allow them to have more control over what would be better in the movie format than the comic book format. The one thing...
Couldn't they have already done that?
Oh, see, when you're dealing with... Axon says, a new DC universe. Wow, has it been 5 minutes already? Okay, so as many comic book nerds know, there have been alternate universes.
In every, yes.
Yeah, any form. I mean, the amount of different universes the Hulk has been present in, or Superman.
Basically, new storyline. Let's just create a new universe.
Right. It could because of continuity. They're like, well, this is going to screw things up, so in an alternate universe.
Problem solved.
And so basically, what you're going to have is WB wants to make it more video movie friendly, which I don't know if that's actually going to work because from my understanding, I've not watched a lot of the DC movies. I've kind of like shied away from them, with the exception of the Nolan Batman movies.
Those were good.
And then I really need to go I need to see Wonder Woman.
Yes, you do.
But the rest of them I heard are just kind of like,
Well, here's my contention with most of the Warner Brothers stuff.
Yes, sir.
Or DC stuff, is they're I look at them as being very nihilistic. Mm-hmm. You got like Superman and Batman not included in the Nolan trilogy. Well, Nolan did it, but he did it well.
Right.
They're very almost like, woe is me, I have this mantle to carry, and it's such a burden that I'm Superman, or it's such a burden that I'm XYZ superhero. And like that's something Marvel does very well as a contrast. You look at them. I mean, yes, they go through their trials and tribulations. Every superhero has that moment where it's like, man, do I really want to do this? But then they break through, and they even take one for like the little man. And that's what DC, a lot of their stuff doesn't do. Is it's like these godlike figures, but it's so terrible being who they are. And that's to me where Wonder Woman bucked that trend. Is yes, I mean she's obviously godlike being Wonder Woman, but she's also very human at the same time.
What?
Yeah, she's one of us, And she has the same exact trials and tribulations like the Batman and Superman's had, but she doesn't let her get it down. It's not like, oh, this is terrible. I'm only going to do this because I have to. Otherwise, the world's going to come to an end. She does it for other much more noble reasons other than just she has to. And that's what that movie did really well, is it broke that. It was still had that dark, gritty feel, just like all the other DC comics. That hasn't changed. It's how they told the story and how they resolved that conflict. I think resonated much better with the audience. It's kind of how I look at. That's why it changed. But Nolan did kind of the same thing with Batman. I mean, Batman in the trilogy, he still had very much that, oh, this is tough, and he had good reasons for it, granted, with what happened to him. But Nolan is also a master storyteller.
They do the what happened to the Waynes. It's ever so slightly different. Like who shot them, where they got shot. It's usually an alley, but
Yeah. So and that's the big question right now that's going over. What's the one that's coming out with all of them in it?
Justice League.
Thank you, Justice League. Is you had Zack
Schneider.
Thank you, Zack Schneider, who's originally directing it, and then now Whedon's taken over, and so there's the big, debate of who's actually who. Did he have to fix it because Zack screwed it all up? Why? What's really going on here? So it'll be very interesting to see how Justice League actually turns out.
See, I personally am a Marvel guy. I've got nothing against DC Comics, but the thing is, I feel like DC Comics is like, it's Batman or Superman who happens to secretly be Bruce Wayne or Clark Kent.
Okay.
In the Marvel universe, it's Peter Parker who's secretly Spider-Man.
So it's more about the person than the superhero.
Yes.
And I think that's a really good point, because I think that's something that CW does well. I think that's another actual good issue with the DC movies, is they also try packing like 6 movies worth of content into one freaking movie.
Yeah.
And I think, but they try to pack in so much stuff that they don't actually tell a cohesive story.
Right.
And I think that's something that CW can do, is they can kind of expand on that personal story. So you kind of get to know the Flash's actual character, Barry Allen. You get to know Barry Allen. You get to know the Arrow. You get to know him. You get to know him as a person and his flaws and what's good about him. And yes, obviously it's about the Arrow, but you get to know the person, and he kind of humanizes it in that regard.
Of course, the downside to any TV show is that there is going to be a time where things are going to get stale, and there's either going to be a refresh, which is a terrible thing to do in any like superhero TV show, or it's going to just become repetitive. It's like, oh yeah, he just remembered that his aunt's still dead, so he's going to go through a mourning phase again, and a bad guy who sort of looks like this other guy just appears, but it's not really him, or maybe it is him. Oh no, it's his evil twin. You're just like, oh my god.
Well, I was talking to a coworker. He's a huge geek. He loves those things. And I was talking about the CW stuff, and he just can't get into it because, kind of to that point, it's more so the filler episodes. It's like, okay, this Arrow season was told in 24 episodes. It really could have been told in 14. But they need to fill those other 10 episodes with basically filler episodes. It's totally a thing. And I think the repetitiveness is a big thing. I mean, if you watch the Arrow, he is a very emo, sultry guy. And every single season, people get pissed off at him because he keeps all these secrets from the world. And every season, it's like, I hate you because you kept all the secrets from me.
No, really? This is one of the flaws with the vast majority. It doesn't even have to be superhero shows, but it's like this individual, the main character, it was harboring a secret, or an issue through the entire season. At the end, he tells his loved ones or his friends, and everyone's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Let's protect you. Next season, same shit, same result.
Yes.
I'm just like, you could trust them. What are you doing?
The whole keeping a secret to make those extra 4 episodes troop is really old, because all these TV shows do it, and it's just, I hate that so much, because what's coming. He lies about meeting this really big bad character who's probably going to kill everybody because he doesn't want them to know to keep them safe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I'll take on everybody by myself
because you'll be safer that way. And of course,
Right.
inevitably, big bad evil person ends up attacking that person anyways.
Yeah.
Everything. So that trope it's so worn out.
Oh yeah, God.
Where I wish they could figure out something else instead of that stupid, like, I'm just going to lie about it to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, really? Can't you guys come up with something more original to carry the storyline? But
No, because it's an easy fallback.
it is easy. You are absolutely right.
We're on a deadline. Okay, he's going to hide a secret about something bad, and he's going to try to protect everyone, but by not telling them, those people are going to be ill-prepared for when the bad secret actually hits them instead of the superhero.
Pretty much, yeah.
Speaking of DC,
Oh, there's more DC.
Martin Scorsese apparently has been attached to the hard-boiled Joker origin story movie.
Which is part of this whole DC
Yes.
EU thing.
Yeah. I am very interested to see how this goes. I'll be very interested to see what version of the Joker he goes with. Are we going to talk like Jared Leto, which everyone basically hated?
I don't like Jared Leto.
Are we going to do Heath Ledger? Are we going to do Jack Nicklaus? Are we going to do oh my gosh, I just blanked out. The guy who was the Joker during
Danny DeVito.
Adam West. No, Danny DeVito was the Penguin.
Sorry.
No, I'm talking about like when Adam West was
It's
Batman.
not going to be Adam West style.
No. You never know. I don't know.
Well, if it's
But
hard,
Scorsese would be weird if it was
if it's
Adam West style.
well, when you say hard-boiled Joker, I mean, when they say hard-boiled, they mean it's very,
Caesar, yeah, that's right.
down and gritty. I mean, that's the whole idea. It's very,
So it's probably more like Heath Ledger.
yeah, it's basically hard-boiled. Comes from the John Woo style of action flicks.
Hmm.
I'm not talking frickin' like Face Off. I'm talking his original Japanese stuff that started a lot of Young Foul Chat, or whatever his name is,
Yep.
which is actually called Hard Boil. It's very, even like the action sequences aren't flashy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're very intense and hard hitting, but nowadays it's all like, big explosions. No, these are like true, like, gunfights that are hard, but not like necessarily flashy. It's good stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how they do the hard boiled. Because that's very much the John Woo style of doing stuff before it became totally Americanized. So hopefully, Martin Scorsese, he obviously has some cred to his name, so hopefully he can. And it's also the director of The Hangover. I forget his name now.
I don't know.
He's also directing the movie as the guy from The Hangover for this origin story, whatever that means.
I wonder if they would go for the Joker from utilizing the Killing Joke as that version of the Joker.
That would be creepy.
Who is fucked up.
I wonder if they'll have Harley Quinn in it then too.
True.
Because in the comic books, at least, a lot of the Joker stories have Harley Quinn. Which
Yes.
is because
It's called Stockholm Syndrome.
we never really saw Harley Quinn in the movies really until very recently. Like, she just wasn't in the Batman movies.
Because
Even when you had Joker.
Well, it's because Joker kept dying at the end of the movie.
Well, this is true. That's fair.
Un momentos. No, I know.
Oh, yeah. That's creepy. He does creepy very well, though.
Axdom says he wants to see more of the Jack Nicklaus Joker, and my comment was that Jack's Joker is more in the same vein as Caesar's. It's not that it's overly kooky, but his mannerisms were a lot more like the Joker from the Adam West times than like Heath Ledger.
Fair.
He still had that, kind of slapstick type of giggle and stuff.
See,
Okay, yeah, but darker.
I know how much he can't do it, but Heath Ledger is still the perfect Joker to me.
Well,
with his performance.
he assimilated into that role, and I think that he got ghosts from that.
I mean, he totally method acted it.
Oh, yeah.
He lived, breathed, and drank being the Joker.
Yeah. So it'll be very interested to see what happens. Hopefully, we actually get to see this come to fruition. As of late, I'm not putting any faith into any announcements about any movies because let's be honest. I mean, there's supposed to be a Hellboy 3. That didn't happen. Supposed to be a Pacific Rim 2. And I think it's actually now happening. Actually, if you hear about a Del Toro movie, there's like a 25% chance that's actually going to happen. Like there was supposed to be this super duper creepy game that had Del Toro and the guy behind Metal Gear, which I cannot remember off the top of my head.
I know who you're talking about.
Those two coming together.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then of course that fell apart. So I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not saying I'm skeptical, but I'm hopeful, but I'm not banking on it.
Well, we know we're getting out more Marvel movies at least.
Oh yeah, well.
Those aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
And we're also going to get a shit ton more Fast and Furious. I don't know how, but they've got 5 more.
Well, because you have to show off more rock packs. You have to show the Rock guiding missiles single-handedly with one arm tied behind his back.
They're starting to run out of action hero bald men to put in the movies.
Ooh, that sounds like a challenge.
I know. Everybody start shaving your head. Let's do it.
Well, they tried that with the, what was it? I want to call it the Incredibles, but it's not.
The Expendables.
Thank you, the Expendables. I mean, you had, all of the old guys in there. And so that's basically what Fast and the Furious is now should have been or could have been.
Yeah.
But it took itself way too freaking seriously. That was the problem that became with the Incredibles. It's like, we're a serious, real action man. And Fast and Furious is like, yeah, so are we, but, we're the frickin' Rock and Jason Statham having fun.
Don't forget about Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel's just there to be like, I'm driving my car.
Dude, he's the centerpiece now.
And he bankrolls that damn thing, and he makes a whole lot of bank out of it.
Hell yeah.
Good Lord. He made it.
Damn it, I forgot a slide. Oh well.
No!
We'll wing it. But all right, so
Wait, we're gonna wing it on the show?
Yeah.
Inconceivable.
All right. So I forgot a slide, so you just have to bear with me here. This is just gonna be a blank slide.
Just do the intro slide. It's fine.
No, I'm not doing the intro slide. All right. So
there's nothing there.
I know.
I'm so alone.
Let's talk about something real quick. An interesting question came up, and I wanted to talk about it. Unfortunately, I forgot to actually create the slide, and I apologize to the user who sent me this. But they wanted to talk about the interesting line of between actions that you could take in a video game and what the hell PETA will go after you for when you try to do it in a video game.
That took a hard left that I was not anticipating.
Yes. So some of the stuff, okay, sure. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a game out there that you're like crawling through the sewers and you have to kill the rats. Well, PETA had a big issue with you killing rats in the sewer. They had no issue with you basically decapitating enemies or shooting innocent civilians. They just had an issue with you killing rats in the sewer. So I've got a couple of game titles for you that are currently on or were on PETA's radar.
Okay, this is probably going to be a long list.
We'll just. I think I got like the top 5 or something like that.
Okay, top 5.
Sorry, 6. Sorry.
And some of them. Letterman's top list show.
Yeah, something like that. All right, so let's start off with a tabletop game, not even a video game. Warhammer.
Warhammer? Wow,
Yes.
Lots of people died in Warhammer. I'm just going out on a limb here.
So basically, the issue that PETA has with the tabletop miniature game Warhammer is the simple fact that the battle-hardened warriors are known for their martial prowess, but wearing the skins of dead animals doesn't take any skill. So basically...
So it should take skill points to wear the dead animals?
So basically, what they wanted... who's Games Workshop, the company behind Warhammer, is they wanted for all miniatures going forward that potentially would have had any type of dead animal pelt on them to be changed to something else. Because it apparently...
Because I played Warhammer, I'm now going to I'm going to go to my backyard, go kill a coyote back there, skin it alive, and wear it to work tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it sounds exactly how video games affect me.
They basically wanted them to ban fur garments for all Warhammer characters.
If you're talking old school Warhammer, I don't think that's very realistic.
I
mean, that's how old school warriors protect themselves.
Are you going to go after like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan? Because I'm pretty sure he killed some animals too.
Well, no, because he knows Conan would just take him out. I mean,
That's true.
Conan's a man's man.
That's true.
Let's be real.
He's got a big sword.
If you know what I
All
mean.
right, so okay, so that's an interesting start. So let's move on to another example. Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. So in Black Flag, there is the activity of whaling.
Okay.
So they basically wanted. They basically were PETA was very disappointed in the way the game felt like it was a glorification of killing whales. Okay, Axdome says, I'm sure they have. It's why you have the no animals were harmed in the making of this movie. Do we need that for games? Seriously, it's a digital thing. Like, I guess I wouldn't say no animals were harmed in the making of this game. I would say
Isn't that obvious?
any what do you call it? Any threat or actions towards animals or other beings are not
Should not be carried out in real life.
Yeah.
AKA, use your damn common sense.
What's that?
Uh,
No, it would be like it would be like do not do this at home type of situation.
like WWE does.
Like Jackass.
Yes.
No males were harmed. This is just a game. Yeah,
But games have feelings too, man.
I know. Right.
All right, so it's number 3.
All right, number 3. Call of Duty.
Oh,
World at War.
this must be intense. They must be angry that we're killing Nazis.
No.
No,
No.
okay.
It has to do with the fact that man's best friend, dogs,
Aw.
can be killed by soldiers, and that also includes the ability to shoot the dog in the face.
Okay, I'm with Pete on this one. That's traumatic to see man's best friends killed in a video game. I totally get that. I'm with Pete.
So the thing is, PETA actually had a little bit of extra support. There were students at a Massachusetts high school who rallied for basically stating the disgust with Activision over the ability to shoot dogs in this game. PETA offered Activision Blizzard a free place at the organization's Developing Empathy for Animals seminar and sent several copies of Nintendo's dog-friendly Nintendogs games to Activision offices.
That's okay. I got nodded.
That's
I got
awesome. Oh, he's right though. Killing Nazis okay. Killing a Nazi dog, not okay. But the question is, did the dog have a choice at being a Nazi?
What is the free will denomination of a dog? I mean, dogs are pretty smart. Let's be honest.
What if the dog's name is Hitler?
It really was a reincarnation. I mean, it's
You can't deny that potentially it was a reincarnation. Who knows?
mean, I don't
You
know.
don't know. Do you believe in reincarnation?
I mean, I've met Hitler-like dogs who I'm like, stay away from me. You're kind of evil.
I've also met individuals who are Hitler-like people.
Touche.
But the crowning jewel is the fact that they sent Nintendogs to the Activision offices.
Hey, at least they're giving them some material to be like, hey, this is a shining example of dog. I'm trying really hard.
Welfare, well-care.
I'm trying really hard, man. I can't.
Once again, this is just a game. It's like a bunch of people. This is not PETA, but there, of course, there was all those lawsuits about how Grand Theft Auto should never be allowed to be in existence because it promotes violence towards people such as hookers, children, and random strangers.
This is basically
Sure,
the same thing.
you have the ability to do so. You don't have to, though.
It's a video
And
game.
also, it's a game.
It's a game. Teach your kids reality from video games. There is a difference.
Also, Pokemon was to help promote satanic rituals and is the path to the devil.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Well, it's just like Magic the Gathering and
Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah,
of course. Dungeons and Dragons was the original. Oh, wait. What about the fact you can be a dingo in Dungeons and Dragons and you can die? I mean,
What if you're a werewolf?
yeah. What does it think of killing werewolves? Actually, I wonder. What does PETA think of killing werewolves?
Technically, I mean, they are part wolf.
I mean, have they boycotted Vampire Diaries because they kill werewolves a lot in that TV show?
Do those vampires turn into bats?
Not in the television series, no.
Damn it. Parents don't need to teach that. Studies have shown that most children understand the difference between games and reality. True. However, when you have parents there as a guiding, do the vampire sparkle. When you have parents who are actually present and aware of what is going on in their children's life, there's a better understanding of. There's an even further better understanding of what is right and what is wrong.
And it's just good to have that dialogue too. You know, be like,
Absolutely.
Hey, Charlie, what are you playing? Oh, that's it. Like when I hung out with my nephews this weekend, we talked about Overwatch the entire damn weekend. It's they just kind of rambled on, which is great. And I'm like, wow, you're a lot better than me. Go, young 11-year-old Twitch skills. But that's like the world they live in, and just even having people who like to talk about it with them, that's what they want. People to hear them about their video games.
Right. I agree. I keep getting on my soapbox about this. But the fact of the matter is, yes, absolutely. Children should be able to interpret what is reality and what is make-believe. However, like I said, it doesn't hurt for an adult to be present and to reinforce the fact that this is pretend and not reality. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's move on to the next one, and that, of course, is, big surprise here, Pokemon Black and White 2.
Sounds like a very racist title.
PETA claims that Pokemon Black and White 2 is one of the worst instigators of video game animal violence. Basically Pokemon in general. But so not only did they go after Nintendo and the Pokemon company, but they created a parody version of the game called Pokemon Black and Blue, which saw Pikachu being battered with a bloody baseball bat while trying to placate his opponent with hugs and ethical protests. What the shit is wrong with these people?
Now I'm confused. Oh, what about Overwatch? Because one of the it's not main, but one of the characters is Winston, a genetically modified gorilla who was locked up in a moon solar station for years, and that's how he got his cyber enhanced skills. So not was he just a gorilla who you play in game, but potentially promotes locking up and doing genetic testing on gorillas because then they become like superhuman sentient like. I'm just saying.
Time out. Since you opened up this door, what happens if the Planet of the Apes actually happens? Is PETA actually not going to allow us to defend ourselves against the genetically modified and now intelligent monkeys and gorillas and orangutans?
Just throw bananas at them.
I don't think it's going to work. Anyway, so Pokemon Black and White 2. Much like animals in the real world, Pokemon are treated as unfeeling objects and used for such things as human entertainment and as subjects in experiments.
Well, yes, I have a cat because it's entertaining.
The way that Pokemon are stuffed into Pokeballs is similar to how circuses chain elephants inside railroad cars and let them out only to perform confusing and often painful tricks that were taught using sharp steel-tipped bullhooks and electric shock prods. If PETA existed in Unova, which is the world that this game takes place in, our motto would be: Pokemon are not ours to use or abuse. They exist for their own reasons. We believe that this is the message that should be sent to children.
Have they asked the Pokemon? Maybe they enjoy this. Maybe the Pokemon like being locked up. Have they thought of that? Because guess what? They're not real.
They are figments of imagination. And there's no one running around with, Axdome says, what about Digimon?
Now you're putting a tune on a keychain. That's just terrible. How dare you?
No, it's not a tune on a keychain. Digimon's not like that. You're thinking of
Didn't they have like the little? I thought those little like
no.
things that you have like feet and stuff.
Hold on.
Keychain.
Hold on. What the fuck is that called? That's called a
Chia Pet?
No, not Chia. No, not Chia Pet. Oh my God, what the hell is it called? I had it. I fucking had it. It's not a Neopet.
One of those things.
Tamagotchi.
Sure. I don't know.
Yeah. No. I was about to say the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Cards are not ours to enslave. It's like what is that? Beyblades, where you've got those tops that apparently like exhibit different types of powers and stuff.
Or
how about Transformers Beast Wars?
Every single MMO where you can get a horse mount.
Or just a mount in general.
But when that mount goes away, where does it go? Like, it's now in your pocket?
You don't want to know where that horse is.
So I was just saying, you're probably abusing this horse in some way to get it to go away.
Up the kazoo.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very appropriate. So you're using this horse for your own needs.
Yes.
And not for its own pleasure.
All right, this one I've heard several times over, but the next one is Cooking Mama.
Cooking Mama? Cooking
Mama. Oh, Lord. Basically, you are a character who's cooking different dishes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Cooking Mama. When the child takes on a role of a particular character, the cook, he is usually exposed to killing for a reward. The child is playing a game, and there is that active element to it, and it's a reinforcement of a video game that sparks an act of violence. First of all, it's a cooking game, okay? Second of all, it's not real.
What about every cookbook ever made?
Seriously, what about all those Julia Child video TV shows? Or hell, the entire Cooking Network.
Because they have meat, and you're rewarding yourself by cooking meat.
Yeah. It's like, if you follow these steps with this dead animal carcass, you too can have a delicious dinner. So let's promote the death of all these animals for the sake of having a delicious dinner.
As long as it's not my cat.
Oh, Jesus, so stupid. You're so stupid. All right, finally. Super Mario.
Not the Koopas.
No, so that has nothing to do with the Koopas. It has to do with the Tanuki skin. So basically, it's the raccoon type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Mario apparently has skinned a Tanuki and gotten into his own skin to gain all of his abilities.
Wait, so you're saying if I actually do that in real life, I'll get the abilities?
No.
That's the logic I'm following from this.
Yeah.
So you're saying that I don't get that if I skin one. So why would I skin one?
I don't know.
Okay, just checking.
I don't know.
My brain hurts.
Basically, it says Mario is sending the message that it is okay to wear the fur of an animal you've killed.
No, that would be like, who is the Davy Crockett? Wasn't he one who always like had like the big fur hat?
He had the coon hat.
Crockett, yeah.
Yeah, son of a bitch. Wait, there are animals that can turn into statues?
Ooh, Driss T. He had the giant Black Panther. He had like the little statue, and
oh, that's true. Axedome's got a good point. The frog suit. I didn't hear anything about a frog suit. All I heard was the Tanuki. Apparently, amphibians are not on the list. Perhaps if you were to kill crocodiles. No, well, the thing is, Cooking Mama had fish dishes, so were they not scared of the fish dishes?
What about the Florida Gators? Because every time I see a gator, I want to kill a gator just because of the Florida Gators.
PETA only cares about cute animals. Yep. The question is, does PETA care for the duck-billed platypus?
Or an African swallow?
Not European?
I prefer African swallows. They go a little bit faster here.
Okay. We've gone off on a tangent. All right, here, hand me the mouse.
I feel stupider now. Thank you.
I just, and this is the reason why the fan or audience member brought this up is the sheer stupidity and the length that individuals will go to try to spark controversy.
And I think just to maybe rein things in a little.
Axome says the platypus doesn't exist. It is a myth made up by the FDA. I disagree, sir.
I think maybe rein things in them is it's not like we're not in favor of like going out and abusing pets or anything. I mean, we're all for ethical treatment of animals and all that good stuff. There's nothing wrong with promoting, I mean, I'm a meatitarian, but there's nothing wrong with the idea of promoting, the ethical treatment of cows are going to die anyways, let's be honest, or, free range meat and all that stuff. I'm all for that kind of stuff. But the problem is stuff like this, I think when you're so far out in left field, it dilutes a message that could actually be productive in terms of animal abuse.
Right. And I think, I'm totally okay with, eating meat or beef. I am not okay with individuals, with farmers or organizations, whatever, that are like chaining animals to a very short leash. They're, basically pumping them full of hormones. They basically, if an animal dies, they let the other animals basically eat off it because it allows for the rest of the animals to plump up some more. Or hell, puppy mills and shit like that, I'm against, okay? Yeah. But to say that any act towards an animal that is for the food industry is kind of weird. If it's, I'm not saying you can't really be ethical about killing an animal, but
we gotta eat, man.
Yeah.
I tried being a vegetarian. Lasted for 8 hours.
I lasted 30 seconds. It was tough, man. It was really tough. All right. Let's hit this, since Zealeus brought up Overwatch. Let's bring this bad boy in here, and that of course is the top Genji
yes.
player, Lee Waru Sangju. Will not be able to participate in the Overwatch Professional League because of one individual issue. And that, my friends, is that he's only 16 years old.
Only 16?
And players must be 18 years old in order to compete in the Overwatch League. Players who are not yet 18 but will turn 18 before April 5th, 2018 may still sign contracts and practice with Overwatch League teams for Season 1, but then cannot play in Overwatch League games until they turn 18. This gentleman is 16 years old, which means that
he's got 2 more years.
Yeah. This is a very interesting topic and argument, because you're looking at an individual who is absolutely excelling.
And mind you, from the Korean team.
Yeah.
And we're not talking like, oh, he's the best Genji player
We're talking about Seoul's Korean team.
Like the best. I mean, they are the best Overwatch team. There's no argument.
They are the 2-time winners of the biggest Overwatch tournament called Apex.
They had a tournament, I think, last month, and their team competed it, and it was not even close. Like, you watch some, FPS or MOBA leagues, and you could be like, well, anybody could win this. No, when they play, they're winning because they just have such insane skill in relation to the rest of the world.
So, but I do want to point out one thing. This ruling is for the actual Overwatch Pro League. We're talking about the ones who are landlocked, area-based teams. The interesting thing is that this team from South Korea, who's actually in Seoul, I think, will actually be playing in LA for Season 1.
And I think that's part of it, because obviously Blizzard is charged with the Overwatch League, and I can kind of see where they're coming from, because when you start having minors there under the age of 18, you're getting a whole extra area of, you have minors there.
Yeah.
And that's a whole extra level of liability
right.
that, Blizzard's lawyers probably just looked at, or like, yeah, we don't want to deal with this. And it's one of the things we've talked about too in the past is, at some point you're going to have probably some kind of, overarching kind of rule set for these professional esports leagues. And you're kind of seeing Blizzard kind of doing that first thing with this. You don't see this in other esports. Well, but they're kind of one of the first to be like, you have to be 18 to compete in this pro esports
right, because
league.
then when you turn 18, you're no longer a minor. The problem is that, it makes sense. It is an absolute bummer that basically the top player of a specific character, and probably one of the top players on their team, can't compete. But as a minor, it's a lot more difficult because this league, there is a shit ton of international travel.
And that was part of it too, is because, You're talking still a high school student, basically uprooting his entire life. I mean, on one hand, I feel kind of like I can see both sides. Because on one hand, if I war you, I'm like, I should be able to do whatever the hell I want. If I have such awesome skills, I personally think it should be his parents' decision on whether or not he can play. I think it's that point. But on the other hand, I can see where Blizzard is coming from. I can see why Blizzard is like, nope, you're just going to be 18, boom, cut and dry. So I can see both sides of this.
Well, the other thing is I don't know the requirements for like getting a visa, because that's one of the biggest issues with a lot of the esports leagues is the fact that international players tend to have, there are several different issues or examples of issues trying to, gain the ability to get access to a specific, country, so that you could keep going. Smite had the Chinese teams have always not been able to fill their entire correct roster. I think it was League of Legends, I believe, was having a ton of issues with Russian players and them getting to, be able to play in different countries in Europe.
You know what this says to me, though? You need to start training your kids now to become professional Genjis in Overwatch. You got to get the muscle memory down for these Twitch skilled players.
Once Brody has a little bit more ability to concentrate, I will give him video games and sports. I'll just keep, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So you can play basketball or soccer or whatever the hell he wants to play, and then also be like a freaking killer for some MOBA.
I like it. Multi-skilled. That's what we need in the world.
Yeah.
People can do both.
Now, this probably happens a lot more than is recognized, but because of the fact that this is really the Overwatch, this is Overwatch Pro League's first real season. So they are really, setting the bar and enforcing the rules now so that there's no loopholes in the future, which I totally understand. The cool thing was that there was some smaller tournaments that were held this past year, and you had owners for the team, the New York team, the Boston team, the LA team, the San Francisco,
I don't remember,
and Florida team. They actually traveled to potentially cherry pick some of the better players to move them up into this prestigious pro league, because there's an Overwatch professional league, but it's not the Blizzard Pro League.
Correct, and that's the whole purpose of the professional. That other league, that's kind of the whole purpose.
Right.
Is to basically be the feeder to find out, some of these players.
It's the development league.
Yeah, to get these players so that the professional Overwatch league can know that they exist. So that's the whole point. Is exactly to cherry pick players.
All right, let's do a little shout out here, and that, of course, is, ladies and gentlemen, there is an amazing organization called Extra Life. Extra Life, basically, it's a charity that does donation drives, and all those donations go towards the Children's Miracle Network, which is affiliated with hospitals around the country and I think potentially the world. Now, of course, Altered Fusion, the hospital that Altered Fusion will be affiliated with is the Children's Healthcare Atlanta, something that I've spent a lot of time. I've spent time in there. My sisters have spent time. My kids have spent time. So I'm very happy with Children's Healthcare Atlanta, and would love to do as much as I can. And Extra Life allows me that ability. Now, what I'm asking for you, the audience, is if you have the ability to donate money towards this awesome thing, all you got to do is, if you're watching this on Twitch, there's a button down below in the panels down below that allows you to click on it, and you can put whatever donation amount you want to, and then, of course, all that money goes straight to the Children's Miracle Network.
Doesn't even see us.
We don't see it at all. It is also tax deductible. Of course, if you're watching this as a recording, you could always go to our website, www.alteredfusion.com, or if you're listening to it via podcast, go to www.alteredfusion.com. On the left-hand side, you'll see a meter of how close we are to our goal. You can click on the Donate Now button, and then that basically does everything that I just told you it does.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, raising this money also helps justify Charlie's playing 24 straight hours of video games to his wife. So it also helps Charlie.
In November, I will be doing a 24-hour game-a-thon. You can donate money at any time you want to. I would recommend that you donate it sooner than later, so that I hate to say this, and I'm guilty of this too. When I put something off, I may accidentally forget about it. So if you want to donate to Extra Life and you have the ability to do it today, please go ahead and donate today, because this, like I said, is an awesome organization. They deserve every penny, dime, nickel, dollar, whatever that they can get, because the children need it. It's for the kids.
And plus, if you donate today, you might forget that you donated and then donate again in November. So it's a double win for everyone.
Which means that you can write it off twice.
Double the wins.
Shazam!
Tell the man, put him down by writing off your taxes.
Drop the mic. Mic to drop. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that works too.
So anyways, once again, Extra Life. You can go to extra-life.org and you can type in Alter Confusion. That will also get you to us. All right, so since we're doing shout-outs, let's talk about the next upcoming convention for Alter Confusion. That, of course, is Big Fandom Greenville. That, of course, is happening in Greenville, South Carolina on November 17th through the 19th, 2017. This is their second ever convention. The first one was awesome, and I cannot wait to go back for round 2. We're going to be doing 2 panels there. We're going to have a fan table there, so come by, say hello to us. And of course, you need to get your tickets. Get your tickets, and then tell your friends so they can get their tickets. And let's have a hell of a good time. I mean, that's really what it is. It's Greenville, South Carolina. There's stuff to do outside the convention as well as inside the convention, and it's a lot of fun.
What is there to do outside the convention?
Dude, Greenville's a beautiful place. Absolutely beautiful. You got restaurants, you got boardwalks, you got bars. I mean, you are not. It's not like you're in the middle of nowhere. You're not like in a place like, I don't know, just off the top of my head, Gaffney, South Carolina. But
I believe there was an Applebee's.
Yeah. That's definitely a hop in place.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, seriously, Big Fandom Greenville. If you can get to Greenville,
do it.
Do it.
Do it.
November 17th through the 19th. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I'll be there. I don't know who's going to be with me. Maybe Zealeus, maybe Jesse. Maybe I could convince Axthelm to be my right-hand man again.
I heard it was a mighty right hand, too.
It was amazing. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Big Fan of Greenville. You can Google it, of course. You can find out all the information you want to. You can also go to their Facebook page. And I'm pretty sure they still have a terrible picture of me as one of the guests, even though I've requested 3 times for them to change the picture. It's me looking like I'm about to fall asleep.
Were you about to fall asleep?
No.
No.
I was exaggerating, like, man, work.
Nice.
They're like, oh, it's a great picture. I'm like, no. Anyways.
Don't just like a little waiver. Any picture we take, maybe it's used at our discretion, no matter what you think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into the one topic that we've been kind of dancing around for a little bit, and that, of course, is Verizon Wireless introduces changes to the unlimited plan.
Please tell me, how unlimited is this unlimited plan?
Well, it's not really unlimited. First of all, they are going to remove the ability to stream 1080p on your smartphone, which, in retrospect, by downscaling or not allowing that, that means that you are going to be consuming less data because you're not trying to push all that stuff. However,
there's a however.
The unlimited plan, data plan, will be split into 3 new plans.
3 new
and
plans!
There, of course, are some unfortunate caveats.
Ooh, caveats to the unlimited.
All right, let's talk about the first one. Go Unlimited is the first plan, starting at $75 for a single line, but subscribers could experience reduced speeds anytime the network is congested.
Oh.
The next one is Beyond Unlimited plan.
Beyond Unlimited. There's not just Unlimited, there's more Unlimited.
There's Go Unlimited, then there's Beyond Unlimited. This one, of course, starts at $85 and only reduces data speeds after the customer has exceeded 22 gigabytes. That billing period.
That billing period, okay.
Yep. Excuse me. And then, of course, there's also the Business Unlimited plan.
Ooh.
Which will allow employers to buy unlimited data for as many employees as they want. But those aren't the reasons everyone is talking about Verizon this morning.
Oh, what are the reasons, sir?
The dream of 4K and full HD video on Verizon smartphones is dead.
Dead?
All video on smartphones will be throttled on Verizon's network, with the Go Unlimited plan limiting customers to 480p.
Yeah.
Beyond Unlimited plan is 720p.
Ooh.
Just in case anyone's wondering, if you're looking at the tablet, they're only going to allow you to do 720p as well.
I can definitely tell the difference on a tablet.
Now, if you already subscribe to the unlimited plan that Verizon launched at the beginning of the year, you'll be able to stay on that plan if you choose.
Ooh, grandfather clause.
However, Verizon is even offering those customers an additional 5 gigabytes allowance for LTE hotspot usage, bringing the total from 10 to 15.
Hooray!
Anyone on even older plans will be able to stay on it as well, but regardless of which plan you're on, you will be affected by video throttling. Now, for those out there who may not have been aware of this, but I think the vast majority of the world was, this is just a couple of weeks removed from when Verizon was caught red-handed by intentionally capping video streaming speeds for Netflix and YouTube.
What? Say it ain't so.
Then of course, when they were caught red-handed, they said, "Oh no! We were just trying to optimize our performance of video streaming on our network."
Bandwidth optimization.
Yeah, optimization my ass.
Yes.
So
it's kind of the continued trend where it seems like every carrier does this now, and local cable carrier for that matter. They all have unlimited plans with asterisk.
and some really small fine print.
Yeah, so unlimited doesn't really mean unlimited is what it comes down to.
No, the funny thing is, like, you can actually probably read some of the lines on the contract. It'd be like, yeah, you have unlimited, data transfer on your phone as long as you're within your own Wi-Fi network.
Ooh, you have unlimited Wi-Fi data as long as you're willing to pay $20 a gigabyte.
Yeah.
So yeah, they always have some kind of catchy lingo. It's just kind of an aggravating thing because, you look at advertising and you see unlimited. You're like, sweet, it's unlimited, $75, that's awesome. And then you start using it, it's like, why am I being throttled?
Why am I getting overage charges? Well, actually, that's unlimited while you're within a specific network or footprint. However, as soon as you get out, roaming, you will be paying an arm and a leg.
Is roaming still a thing? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I haven't had roaming forever.
The new twist, or the new one that basically strangles you to death, is international roaming.
Oh yeah. And no, if I go international, I still turn my phone on airplane mode.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's that's the reality of living in the U.S. is basically it sucks for Wi-Fi, for both cellular and cable. Our choices compared, especially like Japan and Europe, suck.
Europe, if you tried to throttle or do something like, no, I'm going to go get another phone carrier. Thanks, though.
Thanks. I have opportunity and choices and competition.
Yeah, that's not.
And the competition, yes, we have AT&T and Verizon, but they're all within $4 of each other.
And okay, so basically, you really have.
You have T-Mobile.
I think T-Mobile, which
is hit or miss, is the big issue.
No. T-Mobile was supposed to merge with AT&T, but then that thankfully got destroyed. However, so you got T-Mobile, you got Sprint, you got Verizon, and of course you've got AT&T. Any other networks are subsidiaries of one of those four.
Yep.
Like Metro PCS, I believe, is really AT&T. Boost Mobile, I believe, is T-Mobile. So you thinking, oh, well, I'm not going to give my money to Verizon or T-Mobile or Sprint or AT&T. I'm going to go with this other one. That other one is owned by... And if you really want to be technical, the vast majority of these companies actually are all the same company. Technically, Verizon, AT&T, they are baby bells. And
they all use a lot of each other's poles and antennas and all the other stuff. Yeah, a lot of the infrastructure is definitely overlapped. And that's a big fight, especially with Google Fiber, is using existing infrastructure because when it was built, because government subsidized a whole lot of the original infrastructure, the whole idea was other companies can then come in and use those poles.
Right.
Well, obviously, even if they paid anything to build it, they don't want that competition to come in. So that's, Google is one of the few companies that have any resources to fight that battle.
Right.
But even Google's like, it's not worth it to fight these battles.
Well, there has been a little bit of talk, and this is kind of like an off and on thing, is it should be the way that cable service, internet, all that stuff, it should be a utility where you have basically a company that, my best example is Atlanta Gas.
Yeah.
Atlanta Gas is basically the company that that is in charge of the gas lines, the actual distribution of gas, and then you have like Georgia Natural Gas, Scana, whatever else, who then purchase off of Atlanta Gas. Atlanta Gas does not sell it to you. They have the stuff that then goes through those companies.
Yep.
But I don't know. No one in their right mind would go that way, because then you would be losing a shit ton, because you would actually allow the consumer to have a choice.
The consumers don't need choice, man. We need to be told what to do because the corporations
We're
are
all
smarter than us.
sheeple.
Yes, we're sheeple who are not worthy to decide our own fate.
Oh my god. Yeah. So, I love this bullshit that keeps getting shoved down our throats. All right. Well, let's change gears. Let's talk about Alter Confusion.
Yay,
Ladies and gentlemen,
us.
there's this thing called Patreon. Patreon is basically a service that allows you, the fans, the audience, the friends, the family, the adoring public, whatever you would consider yourself, whatever title you fall under, to basically make a donation, a monthly donation to Alter Confusion. This allows for Alter Confusion to upkeep the equipment, perhaps the ability to maybe contract out, work on the website,
The intro,
the intro,
the exo.
the outro.
I like
exo.
exo.
There's a lot of the ability to go to conventions, the ability to be able to pay for electricity at the conventions,
Or at the house.
or right,
So we can light our light bulbs in our computer.
or the ability to maybe make for a more sophisticated setup. Currently, we have a fabric backdrop.
It is a nice fabric. I'm a fan. We have
And
two
then
light bulbs that
we
go
have
blind.
two. We have two light bulbs that, if you stare at them, you will go blind for a couple seconds.
It's like staring at the eclipse.
It's basically their photography lights.
Oh, by the way, did everybody enjoy the eclipse? I'm just throwing it out
I thought
there.
it was good.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I enjoyed it.
I had a
It
lot of
was-
fun. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's it. I'm like, yeah, that is it. However, you ain't gonna see it for a long time now.
2024.
Right?
So the
Is that a solar or a lunar?
It's an eclipse.
Right, but which one is it?
It's
I believe it's a lunar
One
in
of those two.
2024. I think, whatever. Anyways, Patreon is an amazing, gives you the amazing chance to help out Alter Confusion. Now, if you do not want to do a monthly donation, you can always do it, but you do want to donate money towards Alter Confusion. You can always go to, you can click on, I think, like Donate Now button on the website, as well as if you're watching this on Twitch, there's a button down below. And that is basically a one-time payment. If you don't want to do a financial payment, or perhaps you're looking for something specific, I swear to freaking God, I will make this, I will publish the wish list if I can only remember what user and password I used on Amazon after I created that entire fucking list. And I can't remember. But if there's something else from Alter Confusion that you would like to do, that would be awesome. At the very least, if you want to help out Alter Confusion, the biggest and greatest thing you could do is help promote us. Share, if you like our show, share the information about our show with all your friends. And just throw it out there. Retweet on Twitter. Repost it on Facebook. If you're on Twitch, host us. If
be
that would
like
awesome.
Whack Kid.
Actually, I don't think Whack Kid still hosts us. You son of a
No,
bitch.
it said he was hosting.
No, he was watching. He's not hosting.
Oh. I'm sorry. I take back
Son
what
of
I
a
said.
bitch.
Whacked.
Anyways, if there's something that would mean the world to me. If you want to help out Alter Confusion, if you could simply help spread the word, that would be phenomenal. Now, that being said, YouTube has basically demonetized every single one of Alter Confusion's videos, and I can't, what do you call it? Petition that we are, that this is wrong, not petition, what do you call
Challenge.
it? Appeal.
Appeal.
I can't appeal it because we don't have enough views on the video. It's like, sorry, you can't appeal until that video reaches 1,000 views. I'm like, fine, whatever. It's not like we're making money off of YouTube anyways, but I think it's just silly and stupid that basically because we had murders in the title on something that's called Mergers and Acquisitions, a closer look, we got demonetized.
Is that why?
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of the reasons we got, because we had
Wow.
murder in the title.
That is unbelievable.
Thanks, YouTube.
So what you're saying is Craig Campbell needs to start compensating us for our lack of YouTube money. He
No,
owes
damn
us.
it. We need everybody out there to share all of our videos with all of your friends and tell them that they need to watch at least parts of it so that our view count can get high enough that we can appeal all this bullshit.
That works for me.
Or if you don't want to spend that time, of course, you could just donate to us through Patreon, and we could pull $1 or $10 or whatever you feel comfortable about donating, and that, of course, would get closer to the goal that Zealeus has been praying for, and that is, of course, the return of the webcomic. Which, if you're curious about the webcomic, you of course go to www.alterconfusion.com and then click on the comic option in the top navigation bar, and then of course will take you to the last comic I've drawn, which I think it was back in 2013 now. Let's see here. The first run was 200 episodes long. I believe the second run was 120. And then there were some random comics thrown in between.
Very nice.
Anyways. All right, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we have gotten to the end of our show. I do want to thank everybody who tuned in. And please, ladies and gentlemen, if at any time you have any questions or topics or any subjects that you would like for us to discuss, either on the show or off the show, please hit us up through any means possible. You can hit us up on Twitter.
At Alt Confusio, because without the N,
If you had the N, the internet would explode.
knows.
YouTube.
At Alt Confusion LLC.
You can, of course, check us out on Facebook.
At Alt Confusion.
There you go. And, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can always tune in for our live show, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, every Thursday.
And 7 o'clock Central Time.
Twitch.tv/AlterConfusion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in. We hope that you liked the content we provided. And, of course, like I said, we love you. And
But love is real.
we'll be back, of course, every Thursday to give you the greatest and latest and the best that we've got. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the Alter Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you everything coming out of our heads, our mouths, and, of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another awesome show.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.